Time being 6 o'clock, I'll call this Board of Health meeting to order. All members present. And again, since we've been asked by the public, I'm Chris Schultz, Chair. We have Alex Haggerty. Just want to hold your hand up, Alex.
Yep.
Vice Chair, Aaron Christian, Linda Dickey, Susan Emery, and our health director, Marty Golightly. So first item on our agenda, COVID-19 update, reopening discussion. So what do we got?
Well, so a lot has changed, but I haven't had a lot of time to synthesize the new information that came out today, but a lot of things were added to the reopening phase 2, and now apparently phase 2 will be in more than one part. So I guess we're going to call that phase 2 Alpha and Bravo, or phase 2 1 and 2. I don't know what the, but certain things will be able to open on each phase. I recommend everybody, especially if you have a business in that, go to the mass.gov/reopening website and have a look at that. Like tattoo parlors are in phase 2, nail salons are in phase 2, and a lot of those things will be able to open then. As we get to the more things opening, understand that it's going to still be tough, and I still recommend, even if you're outside close enough, at any distance from somebody, you should wear a mask as often as possible. If you're having service done in any facility or any site, I would recommend that you wear a mask and do all of the things that you're supposed to do and have been done, so we can avoid a second spike, if that's at all avoidable now. Yeah, read it. We just had word that some camps and day programs can open today. I don't think that's going to necessarily change what Parks and Recs are doing, but I did share that with them today. So I guess we'll find out. A lot of this comes out and I don't get any preview for it, so we all kind of get to find out together. I'm still waiting on a lot of clarification on sport fields, sporting leagues, kids specific day programs like, you know, baseball camp and soccer camps and those kind of things. I'm still waiting on all the guidance for that. And as soon as I know, we'll put it out. Yeah, that's really all I got for the reopening stuff, unless anybody has something specific.
I had a question.
Chair recognizes Susan.
Thank you. So there are some things when you start to re-inspect again that that the Serve Safe Food Manager certifications that they have, they started them in the year 2000. Abington adopted it in 2010. They're good for 5 years. So this makes 2020 kind of a stellar year, and there's been 3 months out. I was wondering if you had any policy or procedure. I have been in contact with the restaurant associations, and they were kind of leaning towards one thing, but that doesn't mean that the board and that the health director has to go that way either. But I was wondering, where we're going to come down to like a quarter of the year, somebody wasn't able to take a class through no fault of their own. Would there be any lenience? I don't even know that it's going to be necessary, but I would just have had the question asked of me. I'm actually not going to be in that situation. I was able to get into a class, but somebody else might not be able to get into a class. Is there going to be any accommodation for that eventuality?
I would lead any changes to the instruction, to the regulation, back to the board. From my standpoint, the vast majority of ServSafe certifications can be done online now. So I would encourage people that are due to schedule that. I mean, also, I feel like this is a common sense thing. Hey, I wasn't able to get to my course in April. I have it scheduled for August. Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be a little flexible.
I don't know if lenient's the word, but flexible is probably better. But like, yeah. I still expect on December 1st, when all of the applications are due, like that's a long time from now. So make sure that you know you're scheduling your online courses and online certifications, especially since like I'm taking a SHRM test. SHRM is a human resources thing. They
Yep.
can do proctored exams at your own computer now. So like, I know there's workarounds and I know, so, but like, we're also, I don't think we should overburden an already burdened restaurant industry in town. So we need, like, I've always felt like, and we should be more collaborating with restaurants as much as humanly possible, especially now when they're all
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really know a good answer to the question other than please do your best to get certified.
Mhm.
And I feel like us and me and you all and the board, we'd probably be willing to work with most people if they had a valid problem,
Absolutely.
right? Like some people don't like taking tests on the computer and they want to
There's
go to a
a
place.
lot of that.
So, I mean, like,
And-
I think it's a case-by-case basis, and we should err on the side of being collaborators, not.
As long as you're open, I think that's fair enough. That's all
Yeah,
anybody can expect.
We
Yeah.
need to take care of our businesses and people in town. That's my stand.
Might
Yes,
be worth,
I agree.
Yeah.
might be worth noting that if somebody's looking to get certified for at least for food handler, that's currently free online.
That ended today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yesterday was the last day.
Okay. Too late.
Sorry.
All right. Well, since we're talking about restaurants, that leads us into our next item on the agenda, which is outdoor seating.
Oh,
for
wait, I'm sorry,
Oh,
Chris,
yeah,
forgive me. I don't want to, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I think we should also, a lot of this, because it's COVID related, a lot of the burden of enforcement is going to rely on us on industries that normally don't. Nail salons, hair salons, those kind of things. And tattoos, nails, hair, and tanning, which 2 of those we do have oversight over, are all in phase 2. And we haven't forgot about our brothers and sisters and others who are doing all of those industries. So, I mean, I don't want you to think that we're only thinking about restaurants. We're also thinking about nail salons, hair salons, tattoo parlors, tanning salons, and our gyms in town. So look for that guidance. Phase 2, I think it's like part 2 of phase 2 for some of that. But as soon as I know, I'll let everybody know. Sorry. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I think next Monday, as part of phase 2, retail stores are allowed to open for browsing at reduced capacity.
I'll have to check the guidance. I honestly, I feel like I don't, I have to do as much research as everybody else to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of fact sheets dropped today.
Yeah.
One other thing I just wanted to bring up real quick on the COVID discussion, just because it was asked today. On our numbers that we're reporting, we've had 69 recovered for a while. It seems like it's a pretty static number.
And it is remaining static until I get word from our contact tracers, because we have to send every positive case to the contact tracing collaborative now, which is run by the state. And our nurses from the South Shore right now do work with them to get our recovered numbers back. But as of right now, it still stands at 69 recovered. We haven't added a lot, but we're stuck right there for now.
Yeah. A reminder to people that you don't get over it quick. Okay.
Can I add last thing for COVID? I'm sorry, I have a list.
Yep.
Republic will start picking up bulky items on June 15th. Now that they've kind of moved into their second, we're getting, I mean, that's a good thing, right? So bulky item pickup, call the 1-800 number. If you don't have it, give me a call and I'll make sure you have it. It's on our website for bulk item pickup.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty.
Yep. And I think that's all I have. Sorry about that.
Any other questions or discussion on COVID-19 update? Okay, so outdoor seating for restaurants. So did everybody get a chance to look at that guidance?
Correct.
Today, right?
So the town manager did send out something to a lot of the restaurants with some further guidance, and it basically says, the selectmen, the legislature, the planning board, zoning board, building commissioners, and us are all looking at possible variances as they come for outdoor seating for restaurants. And okay, so from my perspective, as long as there is ADA compliance for the restrooms and that people can go in for the restrooms, as long as they understand that the facilities that they have licensed are the ones that they can use, so like whatever restaurant X cannot open an outdoor kitchen, right? We all know that whatever they were permitted to use, they can use and for their outdoor seating. It is my position that we should do everything we can to help them get as through the outdoor seating process as best we can, so they can get some money rolling. These people got to get paid. They got rent. They got, like 30 million people in America rely on service industry jobs, specifically in the restaurant industry. So it is my position that we should be doing as much as we can to expedite that process. And there has to be some caveats. Obviously, people still have to be respectful of the noise. Other than routine restaurant stuff, now is not the time to hire an outdoor performer. Just serve your food at your seats, right? And then that kind of stuff. But that's how I feel about it. I don't know how the board feels about it.
I would agree.
I agree.
I agree with that.
We don't currently have any regulations in place that I'm aware of prohibiting.
Not really.
So I don't.
How many are businesses applying for the outdoor seating, or?
We won't know because we can't even start to think about it until next week.
Okay.
And I think so. As I understand it. So if this is wrong, please forgive me because this is all coming together pretty quickly. All right. So the legislation the legislature is trying to get something passed to make it easier for towns to do this, and then the Board of Selectmen will also have to vote to make it that we can even do it. And then planning and zoning and building will have to come up with their particular set of caveats too. So this is going to be a lot of different people working together to get this going on. So what specific requirements each one of those entities need, I'm not 100% sure of.
Now, Marty, don't we already have a couple restaurants that have outdoor seating? So do we have anything in place for them already?
The outdoor seating is considered part of the restaurant when it's open. So
Okay.
it gets inspected normally when it's open, if I'm there, and that kind of the Ale House is a good example.
Yes.
Right, they have a covered outdoor seating. Sorrel's, Miraga's, a few other places have that kind of stuff too. So they already kind of have a advantage, and I can't speak for any of those places, but I imagine that they're going to want to extend as much as possible.
I don't know. Does anybody feel, is it worthwhile for us to put something in writing saying a sort of a temporary order that pursuant to whatever the Board of Selectmen and the legislator come up with, Board of Health supports that?
It wouldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt, but I would just be worried that whatever they come up with supersedes, you know what I mean? So if we say you can do outdoor seating with, X, and there's some requirements that I can't remember what they are. That's a lot, but if we say, X and then they say Y, it's well, I would
I think we should wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should wait.
Yeah.
I think
I'm just wondering about the language that we use.
we
That's all.
use clean language.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's what I meant. No.
And I would think, knowing the members of this board, if something was decided and we needed to do an emergency meeting or something to get something in quickly, I'm fairly certain everyone would be in favor of doing that.
I'd be willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that getting our businesses whole is kind of our number one priority for that, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be our first emergency meeting.
Won't be our last.
Oh, and didn't the state today, they did release on guidelines on how, when indoor seating is how that's going to go about?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It was actually, it came out on Friday, the specific mass COVID-19 restaurant circular and engagement. And they also came out with, what's it called? for lodgings.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're lucky we don't really have that.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
No, that's specifically for hotels,
Yeah.
Airbnbs, and we don't do anything with that. So the restaurant
rooming
circular, the restaurant engagement. No, our rooming houses count as apartments.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have to do that. But the restaurant engagement and circular did come out on Friday.
All
And
right.
there's a checklist and then a laundry list of things that they all have to do to have set up. And then good business practices and then good hygiene practices is all listed on there too.
Would that be something we'd have to vote on or put through? Or it just automatically goes in with the state?
It just, they just have to comply with the state. And some of that doesn't even get added to the food code. Some of it's not even inspectable by food regulators. It is just, if there is a complaint, we have to go make sure that they are in compliance with those checklists.
Okay. And I was reading through
Which-
them. Is there a capacity limit that they wanted to do? Maybe I missed it or something.
Not in those documents, but I think there is, and I think it's still going to say 25%. Now, I want to say that, but I am reluctant to say that is exactly right because
Yeah.
this changes. I could literally tell you that, and in an hour find out, oh, they changed it to 40, whatever it
For
could
sure.
be, right?
I think it's going to depend on how big the restaurant is. You know what I mean? The capacity, kind of like we're doing with Lowe's. I know with the hair salon, I can only have a certain amount of people in there, depending on how big it is. So I would think to do the restaurants the same.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's all I really had on that. And like, there's so much there, and there's so much to consider. Well, we have to do the best we can as best we can.
And I think it's important to remind people too that all these phased openings are sliding scale. So if the data starts looking bad, that we're going to slide back. So that's a state level decision, and we abide.
Yeah.
Any other discussion or questions on restaurant seating, outdoor seating? If not, our next item on the agenda is the 2020 compost site schedule.
All right, awesome. So we've had the compost site open a couple of weekends. I think, was it 3 or 4 now, I believe. Susan was with me, 4, thank you, Marty. Susan was with me last weekend, and Tim Chapin from the Selectmen, and also Jim Conley. So had 162 cars, actually not last weekend, but the weekend prior to that. So what is that? Was it the 23rd, I think? Something like that. Oh, thank you, Sue. So, and a lot of residents have been asking, when are we going to open permanently or like start regularly? So I drew up a schedule, I sent it to Marty, and stuff. So it's, I'll just read them off here. I mean, it's also posted on the social media too. But so the compost site is going to now, on the 23rd, we did open up for not only yard waste, scrap metal, but electronics and mattresses as well. So moving forward, that's what we'd like to do, unless things change with COVID-19. So the dates that we're going to be open from 9 to 2 are June 6th, 13th, and 27th for the month of July, the 11th for the month of August. We have August 1st and 15th. For September 5th, 12th, and 19th, October 10th, 17th, and 24th, November 7th, 14th, 21st, and for December, just in case for the weather and everything, and with the leaves and the foliage, we have December 5th. So, and then from after that, the compost site will be closed up until March. But things have changed. Depending on the weather, we might have to cancel things and play it by ear. Yeah, that's it so far.
And I'm
I'll be down-
hopeful. Sorry, Alex.
Are you good?
I'm hopeful that you won't have to do it past July, so we can get our seniors some hours out there.
Oh, for sure.
Because they'll need the hours for the program that they're in.
I was happy to
Absolutely.
see the December 5th date. Thank you.
Thank you for the suggestion, Sue. Thank you.
Well, it's been a problem before. Um, that's when you're sitting on the board and that problem comes up, it's terrible.
Yeah. But no, we had a great turnout for these last couple of weeks and everything for the compost site, and residents getting their trash and, well, not trash, excuse me, yard waste and scrap metal and all the electronics and stuff. So just something to help the town. So thank you, Marty. And thank you, Chris. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Susan. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
just a reminder to our residents, I can appreciate the fact that our compost hours are not always accessible to everyone. But I want to remind people that dropping your bags at the gate is littering, and there is a $1,000 fine, and we do have cameras, and we will be enforcing that. I was at the compost site yesterday, and there's about a dozen bags outside the gate because someone was unable to drop them off on Saturday. I appreciate that that may be inconvenient, but please do not leave your waste outside because then our volunteers have to go out and drag it in, or our health director, who all have better things to do. So thank you. I'll get off my soapbox. Any other discussion or questions on the compost site? So next we have trash and recycling calendars, which I believe have already been taken care of. Those are being printed and going out.
I think I asked for this to be on. It's in the past couple of years. I think that we all have recollections of looking on social media and saying, "Oh, is trash delayed on Memorial Day weekend? Oh, is it delayed on Columbus Day?" And the past couple of years, we've announced that yes, they're coming in the mail. When you get them in the mail, please save it. Find a nice, safe place for it. And I think that we've had a little bit less of that as the years have gone on. So I just wanted to let people know that they're coming in the mail. Don't throw them away.
They are coming in the mail.
I understood that from Mary, so I felt like we could mention it.
So we sent them to the first week or two of June is when they go out. But things, as always, are delayed because of COVID. They will be mailed out the week of the June 15th. They don't go to our office until they're mailed. So they go from the printers to the post office, who's supposed to, because it says to resident in all towns, right? So it'll go to the post office, and then every mailbox in town is supposed to get one. If you don't get it, call me and I'll mail you one. No big deal. And we'll have it on the website. We'll keep it up there on the website. And we'll have copies at town hall, and we'll have copies anywhere else. If any of the private clubs want them, I can have plenty of them sent over.
You just answered my question, so I won't ask it.
Cool. And a reminder to our residents, we have fantastic board members who are always very happy to engage people on social media. We do, however, have a website that has information posted. So don't be afraid to go to abington.gov and look for information there. And thank you, everybody who answers questions for people online, because that's very helpful.
Yep.
Any questions on calendars? All right, so our last item agenda is the rabies clinic, which is this Saturday, June 6th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that's still a go at Town Hall.
We talked to the animal hospital, and they are okay if someone's available to work it. I don't know who was. I don't remember who volunteered for it this year. I'm sorry.
When is it?
Saturday.
10 a.m.
10
What,
to 12.
coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the parade is Saturday coming up too.
Parade?
So you're talking about
for the seniors?
Oh,
the graduation
It might be
drive-by?
hard for cars to get into town hall at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, you might be right, but we've had
Yeah.
this scheduled forever.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't
But-
think you need to be sorry, but it's 10 to 12. We'll do the best we can. The
Yeah.
animal hospital is still good to do it. So
Now, Marty, we usually do it in April, so a lot of people's tags ran out. The ones that had the 1 year, are they going to give them still give them if they bring that, the 3 year? They give all 3 years now, but some of them may have expired in April.
Well, they should get the 3-year now. So if they expired in April because we weren't able to have
Yeah.
the clinic then, I mean, probably put that in the same category as our, hey, I had a class for my food
Yeah,
safety.
yeah. I just know that people will
Right.
people get confused when things change on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was scheduled literally 2 months ago.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I was going to
And-
volunteer for that.
yeah. I'm just happy that we're actually able to have it. 'Cause I really thought
So
they were going to cancel it on us.
Who's doing it?
So far, me.
I
Oh,
was originally doing it, but then, compost. So,
Right, yeah, you can't be in 2 places at the
Yeah.
same time.
yeah.
Can we-
Alex, I don't put it past you.
Oh,
Um,
well, sprout wings and fly.
yeah, I can be there. I can bring a civilian volunteer, Boy Scout if needed.
I know
Send me
I'm
people to help
tapped
you.
on Saturday.
I just voluntold my son. So,
He'll be very happy about that.
yeah. And do we know what the charge is? Is it 10 still?
That's the one thing I didn't write down.
Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure it's
It was
10.
either 10 or 15.
I thought it
Yeah.
was 15.
I thought
Yeah,
it went up to
I think
15
you're right, Linda.
and also.
Yeah.
Hang on, I can check.
I believe it is 15. It used to be 10.
Yeah, you're right. Well, you would know.
I think it went up a couple years ago.
Yeah, it did.
All right. So 15.
I'm looking at the flyer and it says 15 per animal.
Okay.
You can see my phone? No,
15 per animal.
Nope.
sorry.
So 15 per animal, dog or cat. And we remind people too that we'll be practicing social distancing. So, please be patient with us if we try to keep you spaced out if there's a line. But we'll do our best to accommodate everybody. And bring a scooper.
Please.
Any questions on the rabies clinic? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
All right. Meeting
All
is
right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.